All right, here we are. Another episode of Salient Points number 82. This one's for September 20th, 2022. I'm Carlos Macias, your master of. We don't have Dalen Kirkwood to give me a name this week. So, what was the last week he gave me a Master of Oranges. So, we're just going to have to go with that. All right, until he updates the name. Dalen had to handle some stuff, so we hope he joins us next week again. But I'm Carlos Macias. We got Deo Blas on the interwebs from up in the Bay. Are you still up in the Bay, Deo?
I wouldn't consider it the Bay.
Okay.
Not anymore.
All right, damn. You turned your back on the Bay, huh? Can't believe
I'm more central. I'm very central now.
Oh, okay. All right. We won't. You don't got to say too much until we'll see. There's a lot of things going on. Things are getting hacked. People, source codes are getting leaked or whatever it is. There's a lot of stuff going on, so you don't got to dox yourself. We also got Luis Mendez on the Wheels of Steel. Of course, thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Yeah, no longer from DTLA, so things are changing for everybody, man.
Things are changing for everybody. Yeah, it's definitely like I was like, you kind of showed us around last time, Luis, but this time I was like, what's going on, Luis? You doing all right? He's like, hey man, I'm set up. I am here. I am present. Well, let's get right into it. First and foremost, this past week, Dale, you did put up a giveaway on your Twitter Nation. There, you gave away one of the Nintendo Online codes, correct?
12 months. Yeah,
right.
That's it.
There you go. Yep. Is it the special GoldenEye edition of the Nintendo code?
No.
Okay, all right. Reasonable.
No, it's just the plain 12-month, no extra,
no frills. Version.
No frills.
Okay.
No.
I hope you didn't get any like pushback or any like pressure when I think I quote tweeted you or something. It's like, this is the one with the Nintendo 64 games, right? So and I didn't know. So I didn't know. I gotta thank you very much because you did add us. We got comms. You added us onto the giveaway. I think I forget who I was talking to, but I maybe it was my wife that was saying, it's like, Dale's gone rogue. But I do like it though. But I do like it, so I appreciate you adding us.
I figured that like I was just when I was doing it, I was like, I'm almost up to 1,200 followers on Twitter now. So I was just like, I'm just gonna do a giveaway because I haven't done like a giveaway in a long time.
Yeah.
And I had this code link. I have some other stuff too. I actually want to give away too in the future. So like, look forward to that, guys.
All right,
but like that one, I was just like, I'm just gonna do this one like really quick. And then when I was like, follow me. And I was like, maybe I should get this one involved too, because like I was looking at the follower count, I was like, this is gonna boost up these numbers, man. We need engagement in this thing.
I like it, and that's kind of what we've been doing, man. It's getting to, we're not getting a lot of comments, but we're getting enough to like, okay, how do we handle this? And we're not getting a lot of comments, so I can't imagine people that have thousands of viewers or whatever how they handle comments, right? But we'll try to get you guys as much in here as possible. Dale,
build a community, build a small community and gets bigger.
Dale, you did get this a tweet that you put out, so I'll read it for you unless you want to say it. But you put out a tweet. You said, winner Rudy Great won. DM me that you accept the prize. Congrats and thanks to everyone else that participated. I think I'll have another one soon. Did he respond? Does he have his code?
He did. Okay. He did. I think it was like 5 minutes after I posted that thing up. He was ready. He DM'd me. However, because we aren't friends, like he went to like the spam box or whatever, so I didn't see it for like 2 hours. And I was like, oh, sorry, man. Like, here's the code.
You guys might have potentially blocked each other. I hope that wasn't like a thing.
No.
Luis, any thoughts on Deo going rogue, which I appreciate. I highly appreciate. But any thoughts on that, Luis, before we kind of get into the show?
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise to see that pop up on my Twitter feed. Like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing. I like it. So kudos to Deo out there for spearheading that, and to everyone who participated.
It's for fun,
There you go. Yeah. And please, continue to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We got comms, YouTube, also to Deo. So Deo's internet. You don't have your name on your Twitter though, Deo. Right?
I do not.
Okay,
no.
Is that on purpose? We say it on the podcast all the time. People just got to tune in for a minute.
I think the Narfield thing is a lot more memorable than my actual name, which is so stupid. I'm not hiding it because on my Twitter bio, like it says like all my links to like social medias and stuff, and it says my name in there, so
there you
not
go. There you
hiding
go.
it.
It's on there. We're gonna get into a couple of comments. We're gonna get into so I'm picking out comments to like get us kicking this thing off real quick, and then like we'll get to some more later on in the show. But we will start off with Scuba F and Steve. This is a children's show. Scuba Steve. All right. So Scuba F and Steve. He said, "Listen, y'all. I'm an advocate pooper, and I appreciate good bathrooms. People need to experience well thought out bathrooms. Also, I forgot to mention, what you would eat from a video game wasn't limited to food. Characters are included." Okay, so he's definitely wilding out. Scuba FSD, I don't even know what to say to that. But Luis, maybe you got a little comment for Scuba Steve over here.
Yeah, I mean, that just reminds me, a lot of the things I think of go back to Seinfeld in some way, shape, or form. So there was an episode that starts off with George and Jerry just chatting it up, and George asked Jerry to tell him like any crossroads in New York, and he said, "I'll tell you the best public restroom out there." So this is kind of giving me those vibes where he's like, "Dude, I know if I'm in downtown, I'm going to this public restroom. If I'm at work, I'm going to this public restroom. I mean." If you have that skill set, congratulations. But I do not have that experience.
There you go, Scuba Steve. Thank you.
Wait. I did think of one as you're talking about this whole thing. So characters I would eat is the entire roster of Bug Snacks, the game, because you could you could customize all their body parts to like pizza or like popcorn or marshmallows.
All right.
And like I would eat that dude Chandler like straight up. Like that guy looks fucking delicious.
Okay, that's the way. Hey, thank you, Scuba Steve.
I don't know.
Thank you, Scuba Steve, for starting us off. The next one is we got Jet. Of course, we have him on here and as his Jet. We have Jet, but we also have him on here later on. Jet, he said, "Hold up. There's 1.25 mil people there, and there's 3.4 million copies sold in Japan. Y'all want to check your math again, or are they just walling out over there? Y'all okay, Japan?" I feel like we said 125 million, right? He kind of misheard.
He moved the decimal point around. Yeah. Yes, if a quick little Google search, it's almost 126 million in Japan. In Japan. Tokyo alone is nearly 14 million. So I don't know what number he looked up.
Jet, are you okay? Don't be asking if Japan is okay. Are you okay? All right,
get your facts straight.
Please, Jet, please. All right, we'll have a couple more comments throughout the show, but let's really get into the nitty gritty here. The biggest thing, of course, this kind of popped up over the weekend, and it's Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks. There's a massive leak that happened over the weekend. Was it like Saturday night? Saturday night into Sunday morning, I believe. 90 plus videos and images leaked, and it's apparently from a 2019 alpha version of the game. It kind of confirms the Vice City setting, and I heard I've heard word that people are saying it kind of confirms that it's sort of like a Bonnie and Clyde-ish story. We know one of the characters' names. Lucia is going to be played by Latina Alexandra Cristina. So, throwing a little flavor in there. So it's kind of, I don't know what you guys saw. There's just so many questions. I know Rockstar kind of came out a day after, and they said, they put a message from Rockstar Games on their Twitter. They said, "We recently suffered a network intrusion in which an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruption to our live game services, nor any long-term effect on the development of our ongoing projects. We are extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you all in this way. Our work on the next Grand Theft Auto game will continue as planned, and we remained as committed as ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. We will update everyone again soon, and of course, we will properly introduce you to this next game when it is ready. We want to thank everyone for their ongoing support through this situation." And I do like how Steven Totillo quickly tweeted out. He's like, "Possible reason Rockstar was quick to put out a statement this morning when the markets opened, letting people know that the next GTA won't suffer a delay. The stock was sliding this morning before that." There's a lot here. I put a little prompt if you guys can see it, but it's like 50 questions. I don't know. Luis, let's go to you, man. Is there anything in particular, I guess, that you kind of burning that you'd like to say about the leak?
Well, first and foremost, as soon as I knew there was a leak, I went into my Twitter preferences and I muted every single shape and
Oh,
form of the
that's a
GTA 6, Grand
yeah,
Theft
There you
Auto
go.
6, Roman
wise
numerals, no
wise
Roman
man.
numerals, everything.
Mhm.
So I all I really saw was people talking about it, and mostly developers, not necessarily people, and just the stuff you kind of expect of like this is harmful for the community, harmful for the devs. It's stuff that shouldn't be seen by the public eye for obvious reasons. Because even in our group chat, Samir looks at it and he goes, "It looks like GTA 5." It's like, dude, it's pre-alpha. It's not even
Yeah.
like close to being finished from
Yeah.
like 3 years ago or whatever. So yeah, I mean, hopefully people that have seen it are still open to seeing what comes of it. And if anything, I saw a poll. I think it was either on Twitter or YouTube of people talking about, does this make you more or less excited for the game? And it was an overwhelming yes, like we
Yeah.
want to see more. We're more excited for the game.
And,
So
and I think and I think so. Our chat that we have, it's a general chat. They're not really gamers. It's sort of a gamer chat thing because I just throw gamer stuff in there, random sports stuff, NBA stuff. Sometimes we get into the goat talk, of course. But for the most part, they're not really super gamers. Like they follow all the news or anything. So to them, seeing like a alpha build is kind of like, it looks like trash, but it's like, but I think gamers, right, in general, and that's why the poll that Luis just referenced, right, he's saying like, hell yeah, we're hyped because you're confirming certain things. There's things that I hadn't even really noticed, but people are like, oh, some of the stuff from Red Dead Redemption possibly is making it through. Like, you might not have an unlimited slots of weapons anymore. It might actually limit you to a few. Like, what can you hold on you? So there's different little things, little if you're kind of paying attention apart from the kind of graphics, as Dalen would say, the graphics haven't been put in, right? There are no graphics. There are no graphics from what you can see. But if you're a gamer, you understand, like, okay, this is what we're kind of looking at, right? We're looking at like alpha build and it's gonna be cleaned up. And I think they haven't set a date, right? They said it's not going to be delayed or whatever. It's like, well, you can't delay something when you never told us the date for it. So to them, it's like it's going to be out whenever. Dale, what do you want to kind of? I don't know if you want to continue on that as far as like some people saying it doesn't look that great, or if you kind of want to talk about
Oh,
anything else
yeah.
from the leak.
Like people's expectations for something like this, for like this kind of leak, for something so early in development right now, it's just unreasonable. Like it looks fine to me. Like they're getting like all the baseline stuff ready and whatever. But I'm just excited because it's the new GTA. Like we haven't had one in so freaking long that I'm just like
I've been
I
on that
want more.
bandwagon.
That's
I've
all I
been
really
saying
want.
stop logging into
Yeah.
GTA 5. You know, stop logging
Yeah.
into GTA 5.
Yeah. And then people were all like, you remember when they announced it and you're gonna be playing as like a woman protagonist or antagonist, whatever, and people got all pissed off. And then when they actually see her character model, they're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe maybe I'm okay with this
I
playing as
actually I didn't know
as
this.
Lucia.
real quick, dude.
I
Yeah.
didn't know this. Someone, I think it was Legacy Killer HD. He's pretty good if you guys don't follow him.
Yes. Yeah.
I think he said, he's like, people quickly rule as 34'd her or something like that. I was like, I didn't know what that was. I had to Google that.
Oh.
I didn't know what that was. Like, wait, this is what this is? If you guys don't know, I guess it's kind of like if something exists, there's porn of it or something. I didn't know that was
Yeah.
a rule, apparently. But I think it quickly was, you know, and like I said, it's kind of like, I didn't mute everything, but I definitely saw a few things here and there. I know some of the things people are saying is like, it's kind of cool to see a character that's like not a typical like hot model, slender model. It's like kind of like a, you know, a thick woman.
She's curvy.
She's curvy.
She's got
there
curves,
you go.
man. There are curvy women out there, which is
it's,
good.
So it's kind of like making them look like a more realistic character, I suppose, in
Yeah.
that sense. Now, Luis, you did say you kind of muted everything, right? And I thought there was going to be like story leaks happening, but I don't think I saw any of that, which I'm kind of happy for because I wasn't looking for them anyways. But if you think back, like when there was that Last of Us Part 2 leak, there were story leaks. There was like, you know who died or not died or whatever. That was like terrible. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't.
I somehow missed all of that.
I
I
missed
didn't
it.
hear
Oh.
any of that stuff.
Yeah.
No, I got spoiled. Damn.
I missed it. I was like, because I do the same thing. I don't necessarily mute. I just kind of like, let me scroll past this real quick. But I remember that was nasty, man. People online were like, this is what's going to happen. I was like, oh, that's crazy. So, Luis, at least we didn't get that, right? At least, well, I mean, you don't even know what is leaked or not, right? But at least We didn't
No,
get
like
story leaks.
the little I was able to see was a few screenshots that popped up on my feed, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, time to mute this stuff.
Yeah.
And then the more that stuff started, people did all kinds of weird combinations of GTA 6, Grand Theft Auto 6. So that's when that stuff started coming in. I'd
Yeah.
see a screenshot, mute that word or phrase. Um, but yeah, I mean, Rockstar is very known for not saying much of anything, even when something's not going their way. So
Yeah.
there probably is some truth to that. They're seeing the stock dip a bit, and they have to make some sort of announcement.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it will be delayed, but
They didn't
there's
give us
no
a
date
date. They didn't
announced,
give us a date.
so
So how
there's
do
no
we
way
know
to
if there
know.
was a delay or not? As far as so you were, you're a game developer at least, right? I'll speak in the active tense, even though you're between jobs at the moment.
Yeah.
Is there really? So this was kind of I was trying to look this up, but apparently people are saying the source code was leaked, but people are like, no, it's not leaked, man. It's even if it is leaked, what do they do with that? It's like you have the formula to Coke. I heard on Sacred Symbols earlier. It's like what do you do with it? Rockstar's gonna know that you have the source code. But would that in any way like cause a delay? The fact that let's say the source code is out there, which from what I understand, it's not really out there. That was just kind of some smoke out there.
Possibly. The only way that I would see it used to any sort of benefit for anybody is the hacker selling it to people that make mods or hacks. So if they don't change any of that source code, then people can already start working on mods and hacks for if there's an online version of it or whatever, and it's already kind of screwed before it even gets out the door.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe if there's anything that's sort of uh, security breaching or game breaking, they can get to it now and patch it now before it gets out. But I actually did hear that the hacker has been discovered. Like he kind of doxed himself.
He was like a
with
16-year-old in the UK or something, right? Or no? Or
That's what I heard.
Yeah. It was like his the message he posted on a forum was like, contact me through my Line account or something like that. And I guess his address or like they got his IP or something from that. So he quickly deleted his account. He's been kind of ghosted himself. So I don't know. We'll see if anything.
Well, and he was kind of he was kind of like, well, I'm in communications with them. So it was like he was probably like, fuck, because I think he even said like, what did he say? He's like, I didn't know this was gonna go viral. It's like, really?
You didn't think it was gonna blow up?
Come on, GTA 6 wasn't gonna blow up. So it's sort of interesting. And I know Rockstar was very quick to shut everything down. I don't know if they try to hit us up because I definitely don't plan on linking to any of the content or putting like images from the game or the alpha build or anything like that. So they're kind of quickly like shutting things down. Before we move on, Deo, anything like that's kind of like you feel like we didn't kind of talk about, or if you want to kind of piggyback on anything we said.
No, it's just crazy how the story broke and how much drama happened in like 48 hours. That they didn't know like what specifically this guy stole, if it was like the full on source code for GTA 4 and GTA 5. And then like I don't know if there's another story. I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently he was trying to sell it to anybody, and so he was able to sell it for like $15,000 via like Ethereum.
Yeah, but it was like a ripoff. It was like a scam or something like that, right?
Something. And then but this kid, like, if it is that kid, man, he's gonna get fucked up. Like those lawyers are gonna take him to town. Like. They don't mess around, man. Yeah, Rockstar games, you do not fuck around, man. Yeah. They take on politicians. They take on other mega corporations. Like, dude, when they find him, it's over. Man. It takes two, bro.
Oh, that's true. Oh, damn, dude. It takes two. Such a wonderful game. Fucking we got.
I don't care.
We got comms. Weighted game of the year. Just they hit it up hard. Real quick, I guess, just because I remembered really quick. There was a conversation we were having too, Lisa, about this. Like, do you feel like this is a perfect excuse for like all these companies to be like, you are getting off remote now? Like, look at this crap that happened.
A lot of game devs have been trying to find ways to get people to come back into the office, and people have been pushing back because everything's been working fine for the most part. But this could be one of those sort of points to be like, we need everyone in the office. I guess it reduces risk, but it doesn't remove risk if, like I said, people are getting via social engineering.
Yeah.
They're just giving away login credentials when it's not going to change much. So,
Hey, you know what? And that's perfectly valid, man. Because I'm at my job, they give us fishing training all the time. It's like it's called
Same.
fishing. I learned terms that I didn't even know existed. I'm like, oh shit, I was not aware. I was like, don't use the public Wi-Fi. Don't use it. Like, wait, what? That's all I use.
There's like smishing. There's like
Yeah,
smishing with text
exactly.
messaging. Yeah, I was like, what the hell is that?
So you're right, Luis, but I think it exactly what you just said, right? It reduces the risk, but they're still like, huh? Let me click this. I gotta check my credit at work, like whatever it is. So you know what? Hey, I'm looking forward to this game. I'm actually more hyped. But it's just like whatever else we talk about. I'm ready to be on blackout, and I'm fine. And whatever little details we saw, that's good enough, and I'm ready. And please to stop logging into GTA 5 so we can apply even more pressure
it's not being delayed.
to these mans to get this game out quicker. The next thing we have on here is we got Jeremy Hitchcock on Twitter. He said, new 40-minute Nintendo Direct announced for tomorrow. Thought. Jeremy, you're in luck, man. We're about to get right into it. Nintendo Direct last week dropped. We did get the name of the next Zelda game. It's called The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It's going to drop May 12th, 2023. I got to get around to playing Breath of the Wild. I must say. I did play it. I beat one of the Guardians, I believe, one of the big things. And there's like 4 or 5 of them or whatever it is. So I'm going to go back. So my new deadline is May 12th, 2023.
Wait, you haven't finished that game yet?
Horizon 1 came out at the same time, you know what I'm saying? So I was playing both. Finished neither. Horizon 1 I beat just before Horizon 2. Just like God of War 2018. God of War 2018, I never beat that. I played like 10-15 minutes of it. So that's in my backlog. So what's interesting about this is this didn't air in the UK because we were like, okay, the Queen died and R.I.P. And all that. And part of why you're blocked, Dale, but that's fine. So Tears of the Kingdom, and you can kind of see right in the title, Tears of the Kingdom, dude, and it's kind of like UK and the Queen and blah blah blah. But one thing I noticed, and I don't know if others noticed, which I think is kind of obvious, right? But it uses the same map as Breath of the Wild. Right, so a Game Informer did ask producer Eiji Aonuma. He said it will use the same basic map as Breath of the Wild. Quote, one of the reasons we wanted to create a continuation was because I wanted to revisit that Hyrule again and use that world again while incorporating new gameplay and new story, he told Game Informer. This kind of reminds me of Majora's Mask a little bit, where it's like they kind of, Ocarina of Time was like the template for that game. Right, but I think for pretty much every other Zelda game, right, they've kind of switched it up. It's a new world, a new map. So I don't know, Nintendo. I feel like they're kind of copping out a little bit, or they're kind of pigging back. I was like, we already did the work. We already did the map. It's there. Let's just add to it. Luis, what do you think, man? What do you think of Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, including myself, after having beat that game, felt like it would have been nice to stay sort of in that environment, and maybe they use that as feedback. I don't know, but cool. I mean, I did like that world, and I know a lot of people loved the open world. I personally thought it was not as good as it could have been. It was good, but I feel like it could have filled in a little bit more of the environment. So hopefully they kind of fill in a bunch of the empty spaces in there with some new gameplay elements and traversal mechanics or something, and we'll see what they do with it.
There's no excuse, right? I mean, dude, the map is there. You guys now fill it, right? now fill it. Deo, what do you think, man?
I think it looks awesome. The trailer was so brief, and it's like they're just teasing these little bits. It looks more like Skyward Sword to me than Majora's Mask, because like they have the whole. I think there's dungeons up in the sky, and there's like a falling transition for it. So, but I mean, I'm really excited. I'm glad that it's not called Breath of the Wild 2, which everyone was thinking it was going to be called.
Well, I mean, imagine they call it Breath of the Wild 2 and it's on the same map. They're like, no, it's different. It's different. And look, I wasn't making like I wasn't making like a 1-to-1 to Majora's Mask, but what I'm saying is they kind of use the template, right, of Ocarina of Time.
Oh, right.
But so it's kind of interesting. They had to change the name, man. They just had to do it, right? It's like, we're giving you something new, and then people are like, wait, I remember this place. Next thing, this was kind of a big deal because it's been around forever. Even though I know Luis on the chat, one of the chats, is like, you guys guys understand this game does not hold up. And we're like, we know, but it's cool. GoldenEye for Switch, and also quickly Xbox came out. It's also coming out on Game Pass, but it was revealed on the Nintendo Direct's stream. An Xbox spokesperson this is from Steven Totilo, a tweet that he put out. He says, an Xbox spokesperson tells me GoldenEye for Xbox is a, quote, a faithful recreation of a much-loved and iconic title, and confirms there are no plans to include online multiplayer. It'll be playable locally for 4 players like the original. The Switch version has online. So these are like a tell of 2 different versions of the game, right? The Switch version has online play exclusive to the Switch, but it's mostly, as far as I could tell, it's mostly closely to like, it's an emulated version, right, of whatever N64 emulation they're using, and they added online play, versus the Xbox version, which, you know, will have achievements, 4K resolution, smoother frame rate, and it'll be on Game Pass in a tricky way. Because I don't think you can't buy the game, but it's on Game Pass through Rare Replay. So it's kind of tricky in that sense. But I do like the tweet. I didn't quote the tweet on here, but Xbox did say it's like, it's going to be smooth frame rate, even in local multiplayer. Because as you guys can remember, put Rockets only, and those frames are going to be like 2 or 3 frames a second, all right, in split screen. Deo, what do you think, man, about a little GoldenEye action here?
I was so hyped when I saw that logo come across the screen. I was jumping up and down. I was like ready to just like smash my fist into a wall. I'm so happy that you finally got something.
New home. Hopefully not in the
no,
new home.
no. At my parents' house. But
then smash away.
Yeah, right. But like I was so hyped, and then when it said online multiplayer, I was like, oh, it's over. Slappers only facility 1v1. Come on, bring it on. Let's go. But then
they
like
threw that shit out too, right?
They threw it out.
The online, they're like,
yeah,
online.
And I was like, cool, that sounds awesome. But then I was like, Nintendo Online, maybe, I don't know. But then when I was scrolling through my Twitter feed, then I saw that the Rare, account said like, oh yeah, we're also coming out with GoldenEye, but it's Xbox. And I was like confused. I was like, what is this? Like, but it doesn't have online multiplayer. Yeah. It has all the upres stuff. So there's definitely 2 different versions of this game coming out, and there's just some weird like legalese that happen between both Microsoft and Nintendo on how it's being released. Like, you can have online multiplayer, but we could like, dress it up and look like a modern title, right? And yeah. Nintendo agreed to that, but then you can't sell it like physically, or you can't sell it without it being bundled with something else. So like Nintendo's like, okay, we're gonna put it in our Nintendo Online service, and you can put it in your Rare Replay service or something. Like, I don't know how they came to those terms.
It's so wacky, man. There's some like kind of mental legal gymnastics going on. Yeah. And this, like, there's a permutation somewhere. I'm pretty sure they like they signed the contracts or whatever, right? They balled it up, like spit on it, and lit it up on fire. It's like, all right, these 2 versions exist now. Like, just it's fine. And, it's out there,
right? But it's gonna be awful. Like, either version, like, because like, yeah,
right?
Everyone's right. Like, everyone's right. Like, it aged like milk. Like, it's not gonna be fun to play compared to a lot of the modern stuff. Like, yeah, if they put in a better control scheme, that's great. But I don't know. It's going to be really tough to play. One of the
things I think people were theorizing was like, okay, probably the Xbox One might have some mapping, maybe a little dual possibly. Nintendo's no, it's whatever the emulator is. It's not gonna let
exactly.
You shit, right? Luis, what do you think, man? I know you're not too hyped, right, about this.
Yeah, I will say though, because I did give you some shit in the chat, and because I didn't. So Carlos kept sharing links to this GoldenEye thing in the chat. And after a while, I replied, I was like, "We get it. It's coming out. Like, I don't know why you keep sending this, but I didn't realize
There's a new wrinkle every time.
That it was all that every single one was like, but it's on Xbox, but without online. But it's a remake and it has achievements. Yeah. But on the Switch, it has online, but it's still the whack ass version. So I was like, okay, now I kind of understand what's happening here. Yeah. So it's I don't think anyone came out of this, including the fans, happy with this deal.
Like, yeah, so I was more confused.
Like both companies are like, I guess we'll just do it like this, whatever. And they, sign the dotted line, and then now the players are left thinking like, well, so am I gonna want to play either of them? Am I gonna have to play both of them? Like, I don't understand what's going on. So
it's just so many. There's just so many moving parts, right? Because you have it's GoldenEye itself. It's a 007 like license, right? That. I don't, whether Nintendo went to them or they went to Nintendo, they're like, yeah, we'll take that contract. Rare, make this game for us. And then at some point, Rare got sold off to Microsoft, and maybe Rare owned like the make of the game, the build of the game, but Nintendo owned publishing rights, and it's all kinds of like. Yeah. I think maybe we saw the same video, right, Dale? The Hogue Law video. It's
that was a very excellent video.
Pretty good, yeah. Hogue Law, Hogue
is very good. Yeah.
Make sure to check out that video. It's pretty short too, it's like a 13-minute video, but I think he did a good job of like the mess that this is like. Fine, we'll make this, but it's gonna be out there, and you know what? It's on Game Pass. I already have Game Pass. I might grab a month of extra expansion or whatever.
Oh my god!
What up, Dale?
Hey, you could win it on my giveaway that I'm gonna be doing in the next. I don't know.
Dale,
Yeah, go ahead.
Will you buy a month or however long it is? I guess just to try.
No.
Okay.
No.
You're a better man than I am, sir. Luis, you're not gonna buy a month of expansion pack.
Nah, I'm still protesting, man.
Who do I play with? Dale, before we move on, you had something else to kind of say on GoldenEye?
Yeah, I want to know what happened. So there was a leak of a remaster build of GoldenEye that came out like last year.
Yeah.
And so people were able to download it and play it on the PC, and it had like up-resed like everything and better models and texturing. And people were able to play, I think it was like the first level, like the dam level. And I want to know what happened to that. Like, was Microsoft like greenlit it like under the radar, and it was gonna be like, okay, we're gonna have this all ready. So then when all our ducks are in a row, like we'll just like release it straight up. But then like Nintendo just stopped them. Nintendo, this little tiny tech company compared to this Microsoft giant, was like, no, you can't do that.
We don't like that. Not only that, but we get the online. Not only like Nintendo said, not only that, don't release that version that we know it's out there that you guys been working on. No, and we get the online.
I guess you'll be able to clap in the Nintendo Switch one, right?
Will. Oh, we do the clapping.
The right stick.
If you guys haven't played online, so me and Dalen play that. There's really only one emote or whatever that you get. It's just clapping. But I'll do a little double clap. I'm like, Dylan, that's a thumbs down. That's not a good clap. That's a bad clap. So there's a lot of wackiness going on in that. So GoldenEye, that's kind of one of the big things last week. Other than that, on the Nintendo Direct, there was Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Remaster. That's coming out December 13, 2022. So I'm pretty hyped. Dalen couldn't make it, but I'm sure he'd be pretty hyped about it. You guys are just kind of going to move away from that one. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 7. I hope you guys liked how I threw all those out there like that. Cloud versions are coming to the Switch. Luis, this will be your preferred way to play these games, right? I'm assuming.
No, I'm going to say the same thing I say every time Resident Evil's in the news, because they're re-releasing a game they already came out with. Nobody gives them shit for re-releasing games, but GTA releases twice. Skyrim releases hundreds of times. No one says anything. So that's it. This dude wrote a story on a toilet. Re-releasing the story, didn't even change it, and you guys keep going, yes, bring it on the Switch, we like it.
Dale, it's hilarious on its face, but you understand.
He's not wrong. That's the problem.
But you understand the toilet.
Yeah,
you understand the toilet story, right? Resident Evil 4. Written on the can. Well, it's just the We Got Com Salient Points version of it, but the man wrote it in like a couple weeks on the toilet. Right? Anyways, cloud version. We love our cloud versions around here. The thing that won't be cloud apparently is Pikmin 4. I don't know who's hyped for it, but Pikmin 4 is coming out in 2023. I'm pretty sure they don't have the Energizer Bunny hanging around, or the brands or whatever. They probably took all that stuff out. It Takes Two is coming to Switch November 4th. Tunic, September 27th. Fire Emblem, January 20th. All these things Dalen would have regaled us with tales of, but Dalen, you missed out, man. You missed out. The other big thing of last week was the big thing was State of Play, but it kind of mixed in with Tokyo Game Show. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong, potentially, Dale. But
it was Nintendo Direct first.
It was Nintendo Direct, State of Play, and then Tokyo Game Show happened.
Yeah.
Right. So the State of Play happened later. Tekken 8 got announced. Dale, please enlighten us on what you witnessed here.
Since Dalen isn't here and he's the other Tekken player in this group, man, dude, Tekken 7 is really old actually, because it was in Japan almost like 2 years before it even came out of Japan, like to United States. So they were like like South Koreans and Japanese people were like labbing this game for a good like year and a half, and Americans and the rest of the world had to catch up. So like that was in like 2000. Ooh, what was that? 2015 when it finally came out here. So it's almost like a decade old. And now with the trailer, all the upgrades, like the graphical upgrades, look insane. The character models for like Jin, and oh my god, it looks so, like, and all the particle effects going on with them. Like there's literally, it's a rainstorm, and then there's a fire going on in the background, and then like when they slap each other down on the ground, there's all these like
and they're in a on a volcano.
Rocks and stuff. They're not in a volcano. Not this time. No one gets thrown off.
Okay. All right.
Hey, you gotta stay off of those ledges, man. I hear something happens on those ledges all the time.
He's super prone to ledge to ledge falling off. But yeah, like it just looks amazing. Like the way like when they revealed Street Fighter 6, like that looked really good, because Street Fighter 5 was like man with the art style and the graphics, but like Tekken, it's showing really well like what that engine, I forget what engine they're using, but whatever engine they're using is gonna be pretty sick.
So for Tekken fans, definitely this is like you're in day one.
Oh yeah. The way that it's shot too, it looks like a cinematic. And then when they start to go into the fight engine camera and the way that it's posed up, I was like, oh yeah, you know that move. That's Electric Wind Gaunt Fist. Like you know all those moves.
Oh, and look, trust me. And as a dollar combo, like I can tell when there's a dollar combo going on. I saw those kicks and punches not connecting. I saw that shit. Yeah. So it's it's Tekken. I'll try it, Dale. I'll try it. I'll mess with it.
It's fun, man. Even I'm not good at it, but it's still really fun.
So Tekken 8, it's coming out. It looks pretty good. From what I saw, it looks pretty good, but we'll see. A little dollar combo number 8. Team Ninja also announced their next PlayStation 5 console exclusive, Rise of the Ronin. It's set during the modernization period of Japan. It's supposed to come out in 2024. I feel like that's coming up pretty quick, man. I feel I feel like they're gonna benefit. I feel like Team Ninja in a way is kind of like people have taken their ninja mastery, like Ninja Gaiden came out and this was an incredible game, and now it's like Ghost of Tsushima and all these other like ninja or samurai games where it's like, no, we're gonna show you who's boss. The only thing is, I hope it's not like a Demon Souls-ish type of game, man. I'll be kind of upset. I hope it's definitely like a return to form, return to Ninja Gaiden, but we'll see. They like their Dead Souls type of games. Luis, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit it on the head there. I think everyone that saw that thought, "Oh, this looks like Ghost of Tsushima, but like Team Ninja style." So that I'm kind of excited for, seeing what they do, because they do take some sort of, the guys accelerating midair forward out of nowhere and like these things like that. So they're definitely adding some wackiness to the Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. It looks like it could be pretty intense, and yeah, it's right around the corner. Seems like so.
You're hoping it's kind of more just purely action, right? Not action RPG.
Yeah, more like Ninja Gaiden sort of. Yeah.
So we're hoping for the same thing. It looks good, looks amazing. It is a Team Ninja game. They're good at those graphics. The other thing is, there was God of War Ragnarok at the end of the State of Play. I looked away, and I could still hear it in the background, but I was like, whatever, man. And it kind of sucks because they waste the reveal in a way. I know they're trying to hype people up, but it's like, dude, like, come on, man. Like this game's around the corner. I don't want to look at any of it. You guys definitely looked away, right? You guys looked away, or Deo, did you kind of look at it a little bit? Okay.
I checked out a little bit, and then I had to look away because I didn't want to spoil anything. But we were right from last week where we were trying to do our predictions, and we all said that God of War Ragnarok was going to be on there. So at least we got that.
We definitely got a couple things wrong. We don't need to rehash them. If you guys want, go to last week's episode and then correct us. Like, subscribe, 5-star us, and then tell us how wrong we are. So God of War, they definitely wasted a reveal, I feel, because I'm sure a lot of people turned away, right? This thing is around the corner. It's like, all right, man. You guys could have shown us something else. I know the big thing for you, and I know I put it all, like, we don't have to go through every single thing, but there was big Yakuza things going on. The biggest thing, of course, it seems like Sega is moving on from Yakuza, and they're gonna go to like a Dragon, right? The games are Like a Dragon. Sega formally drops the Yakuza brand. I like how one of the producers, someone asked him, I guess, but he said the series is too violent and quote unquote underground for Switch. I like how that's an interesting translation. Maybe it's too underground. Like a Dragon 8 got announced. That's coming out in 2024. It's gonna be RPG style, kind of like Like a Dragon. It's Like a Dragon, right? I don't think it has a subtitle, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't. Well, they don't. I don't know if they're gonna have the new one have a subtitle, but like
Okay.
Yakuza, Like a Dragon is technically Yakuza 7,
Yeah.
which is the RPG one.
Oh,
So
interesting.
they're following that
So
one.
Like a Dragon 8 got announced 2024. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. Okay, I love the title, of course. That comes out in 2023. So that's the closest. Actually, no. That's coming out next year, but we're going to have Like a Dragon Ishin. That comes out February 21st, 2023. For The Man Who Erased His Name, we don't have a date for it, just 2023. But as far as Like a Dragon Ishin, and maybe we could start off there, Dale, but that's supposed to be like rebuilt from the ground up, right? This came out in Japan a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
It's the or no, what is
It came out. It's Japan only for PlayStation 3. So that's the only territory it ever released in, and it's set in Edo, Japan. They have the same like character models as the Yakuza franchise that came before it, but they all have different backgrounds and different names. Like Kiryu is his name in the game is Ryoma instead. So they don't have like any blood relations to these other characters, but they have totally unique stories.
Which I kind of like. It's wacky. I like
Oh,
my
yeah.
wacky,
Oh, yeah.
man. It's like let's throw these band of characters and let's just put them in a completely different setting, and it's fine.
That like oh dude, like so I stayed up until 4 a.m. Oh, was it 3 a.m.? It was 3 a.m. to watch this because they had the whole RGG Studios summit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it was already 1 a.m. and I was like, should I just stay up and watch this? I was like,
I think you tweeted it, and I was like, just wait, man. And I was like, I tweeted back at you. I was like, I was like, just wait for it. And in the meantime, I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep. You wait.
You're just
wait
like
for it. Just wait.
No, because I was so hyped because I couldn't even sleep because earlier in the day during the PlayStation Showcase they had the trailer for Ishin, and I was like, no effing way that they're re-releasing it because a lot of the hardcore like Yakuza fans have been asking for a remaster or at least like some sort of a port of that game to stateside. Yeah. And so like I've been begging, like I know one of the Sega community members who runs like the EU one, and we always ask her like, hey, when's Ishin coming out, like just jokingly over the last like 2 years. Yeah. And like we bug her about it all the time, and then she went like radio silent for like 3 months this past like before this announcement.
She was actually responding to you guys. I was like,
yeah, she's like, oh, no, we'll see. Well, we'll look at see what's going on. And then she shut up about it. And we're like, oh my God, you were keeping that under wraps for how long? And she's like, about a year. And we're like, oh my God, no way. Because like it was like we just wanted a port. That's all we wanted. Because the original game is really, really good. Like you have like the bathhouse stuff. You have like all the fighting and all the like swordsmanship.
That's how big of a fan you are. I don't know if you know Japanese or anything. I don't think you do. So you're a big enough fan that you look through some of the footage of the Japan only game and you're like,
I was about to import that thing because I really wanted it. Yeah. Like I really wanted Ishin and Kenzen, which are two PlayStation 3 era Yakuza games. And I was about to import them. I still probably will because I want to complete my collection. Yeah. But like when they showed Ishin and it's in Unreal Engine 5, I think? Unreal Engine 4 or 5, I don't remember. Yeah. But like it looks phenomenal. 5 is the newest one? Yeah. So it's Unreal Engine 5. And I was like, damn, man, this looks amazing. They redid all the cinematics, like all the character models. They even threw in.
Did they Last of Us Part 1 it potentially, or does it look like they?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, a lot more. I think the improvement from like say Last of Us Part 1 to the remake, I think it's a lot lot jump here.
I mean, it's Naughty Dog. I mean, what do we right?
I mean, they're fun. Yeah, exactly. It sets a high bar already, so it's like really hard to like surpass that themselves. Yeah. So, but for like the old Yakuza game, like that came out when Yakuza wasn't even. It like barely anybody played that thing. So like they had like bare bones budget. Like they didn't have like any good sound in it. There's not a lot of VO. Yeah. And like the graphics are
you're
right.
Gonna be eating well, Dale. You're gonna be eating well starting February 21st, man. That's coming up pretty soon with Ishin.
Yep.
And you're looking forward to the other games announced.
Right? So yeah, I'm sorry. I could probably take like a whole hour just talking about all this stuff.
Give us the highlights. Give us a highlight.
So the highlight is so the second game they announced was The Man Who Erased His Name, which follows Kiryu. And Kiryu in Yakuza 6 is when his story officially ended. So that's why they kind of wanted to stray away from the Yakuza name, because Yakuza doesn't exist anymore in their modern day in the story that they've been telling. So it's that now that Kiryu's gone, he went underground. He's like, I don't want to bother anyone anymore with any of this Yakuza business. I'm too damn old for this, type of situation. I'm gonna hang it up. I'm gonna go into the mountains and do my own thing.
The name change is more for story purposes, for continuity of the story. It's not necessarily like, all right, Yakuza, we never liked that game, because it's always been like a dragon in Japan, right? It has never been Yakuza,
no,
or has it been Yakuza in Japan?
No, it's Ryo Gatu.
Oh, that's
Gatsuko.
right. Yeah. Okay, got you.
So it's always been that.
Okay.
And in here in the United States or in the Western territories, it's always been Yakuza. Okay.
Which is so wild because they put so much money into it, man. I know. Well, I mean, initially when they first were like, we're coming out with Yakuza, it's a Japanese Grand Theft Auto. It's like, it's not that, but it is an open world. And I remember like Luke Skywalker was voicing a character, like the main character. Like it was like a lot of, Mark Hamill was like.
Eliza Dushku was
so
in there.
They put a lot of money into it for the U.S. to be like, whatever. Whatever, we don't care. So after that, they've all been like subtitled, right? They've all been like subtitles.
Yeah. Not until Yakuza, was it 0? Did they actually have like English voice actors for some of the parts?
For some of the parts. Okay, gotcha.
For some of the parts, not even all of them.
Dude,
because like you'll have characters who speak like English. Like in the games, but like they get translated or dubbed into Japanese for their localization. But like it's not like they don't have normal English until Yakuza 7. So like a Dragon Yakuza 7, that was the first time where it's a full English cast that they had.
Interesting. Okay, there you go. Hey, I know you're hyped, and I know you could go on for hours, Dale. So
oh man,
I'm sorry, man, that we had to kind of like tell you to like.
I know.
Hey, hold the excitement. Hold the excitement. But you did. Like
I'll do a weekly segment on here called Yakuza Updates.
There you go. Hey, I'll welcome
Give me 10 minutes.
I'll welcome it, man, for sure. We'll kind of promote it and all that. The next thing I should have thrown this into with the Tekken stuff, but as far as Street Fighter 6, you did mention it earlier. 18 of the fighters have been confirmed. There's going to be a closed beta test on October 7th to October 10th. Luke, Jamie, Manon, Kimberly, Marissa, Lily, JP, Jury, DJ, Cammy, Rio, E, Honda, Blanca, Guile, Ken, Chun-Li, Zangief, and Dalsim are confirmed. Deo, you're more hyped about Tekken, right? Or just 6? Has it been kind of winning you over?
Yeah, well, no, I'm more 3D fighter nowadays compared to Street Fighter, because like Street Fighter is simple, but it's very hard to master. And for me, I just like want to have fun and dick around. So in 3D fighters, it's a lot smoother experience to do that, and the online lobbies are a lot easier to do that. But with Street Fighter, it looks really good this time around, and I'm glad that they're not skipping Xbox. So you'll have a larger community to play against. So like you'll have Xbox, you'll have PlayStation 5 and 4, and then you'll have PC, and just have a lot bigger community to play against makes you a better gamer. So I'm hyped on both, but I feel like I'm going to be playing with Tekken a little bit more because I really want to learn Tekken a lot more than Street Fighter.
I might game flam and kind of join you. Might get you flagged. Like, all right, I've seen enough, Dale. I'm sending.
They're expensive though. I don't know. Capcom likes to nickel and dime that series too. Like Capcom loves re-releasing freaking Resident Evils, and they love re-releasing Street Fighter games. I swear to God, man.
And no one complains, right, Luisa? No one complains.
No
one complains,
man.
Hey, stop logging into GTA 5. All right, they just had a leak. I don't know if you guys heard earlier on the podcast. Just had a leak. Let's keep it going, man. Keep the fire going. They need to release GTA 6. All right, we need to see that. We're gonna move into quick hits now, quote unquote quick hits. We did find out that the PlayStation VR 2 it's not gonna play your PSVR 1 stuff on the PlayStation Blogcast. I should put who said it, but somebody on the PlayStation Blogcast, someone official, I hope, said, quote, PSVR games are not compatible with PSVR 2 because PSVR 2 is designed to deliver a truly next-generation VR experience. Luis, what do you think, man? No backwards compatibility for 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they did that to save on cost. It was probably too much of a leap technologically, that in order for them to support the old ones, it was just going to be too much of a hassle. Maybe it would have required developers to sort of opt in and update it to work with it, so they probably just scrapped it. But let's be honest. Who was going to buy a PSVR 2 to play PSVR games? Come on, man.
I'm trying to remember, but was it Deo? Was it Dale saying? Was it?
I was hoping
you were
a little
like,
bit.
I hope there's backwards compatibility. Now, did they break your heart, Dale? After they show you all this cool Sony, Sega, Yakuza, all this stuff, did Sony go up and break your heart again?
Not really.
No?
Not really. No, because like if you think about it, all that tech from like the PSVR 1 was it's like really old. Like
Yeah.
you have to upgrade a lot. Like everything was based off of that Move controller. Like for some of the inputs.
2009 maybe? Was it 2009?
Like earlier than that. That was like
old.
that was 2007, I think.
Wow.
I feel like no,
That
2008.
sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay.
So we gotta move away from that. So I'm really happy that they. You know what? It sucks because like a lot of people were kind of wanted that as a feature, but I don't think they'll be selling as many units with like older ass tech, holding it back compared to what they're gonna potentially have.
Yeah,
so.
and I think like they've said it forever, right? When they do backwards compatibility, when we have new hardware, new systems, the gamers are like, I want backwards compatibility to keep playing my library, right? But it comes at a cost, right? Like it comes at like you have to make either hardware wise or software wise or emulation wise or something. You gotta build that into it, right? And I think this thing's gonna be expensive enough, right? I mean, we have MetaQuest that's like, we're gonna raise our price by $100. So now PSVR 2 is like, let's make it attractive, and these guys just raised their price. So we're good.
How much is MetaQuest 2 right now? Actually, I want to know.
They went from 3 to 4, right? 3 to
1 to 400.
Yeah, they're wacky, dude.
PSVR 2 is gonna be 550, man. 550.
I like the 50.
Oh,
And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna raise you. I'm gonna go 525. I'm gonna go 525.
And you have to have a PlayStation 5 first.
And you have to find one of those. Luis, how much is this thing gonna be, man? Before we move on to the next story here.
I would go with 350, but we'll see.
Oh,
I don't think they're gonna surpass the price of the console itself, but
that's true.
It's some nice tech. Man.
That's true.
So
I think. Yeah, I don't know. Realistically, I think maybe
just get a second job.
Yeah, I think $400, man. I think they might just like eat it and be like, this is the same price as the MetaQuest. Because imagine trying to compete against a $300 MetaQuest, right? They're like, whatever. They're making it easy for us. It's $400.
Then 2 years later, they're gonna jack up the price.
Yeah. All right, the next thing we have on here is Cyberpunk 2077 apparently has been like the Steam top seller after the Netflix show dropped last week. I know it peaked at 68,000 plus concurrent players, and I saw somewhere that said 85,000 players have played it in the last 24 hours or so. So concurrent and how many people have played it is different, right? But Dale, what do you think, man? Do you feel like the series, the Netflix show is like, damn, I want to go get in that?
Yeah.
Is that what happened with you?
I was one of those people. I booted up Cyberpunk after I watched the show. Edgerunners is a phenomenal anime. It's not one of my favorite animes, but it gets that vibe right. Like it does the storytelling of the cyberpunk world without like you don't need prior knowledge of it, like of the games or the old tabletop game. Yeah. But you understand what's going on in this world, like the despair, like the despair that the people have in like the class system that they have and all this other shit. Is
it a prequel? Is it a side by side, or is it like a sort of sequel to the game, or just? It's
it's side by side, I would say. Right. Yeah, because there are some I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, please don't, because that's kind of in my backlog. Yeah, but definitely the show. You think it does have a lot to like. People are like, yeah, let's go check out this game.
Yeah, like they chose first of all they chose the right animation Studio Trigger to do it. Because their animation style is so like bold and frenetic and like super colorful that it matches the world of cyberpunk already. So their style translated very well into the storylines and the setting of cyberpunk. And the character designs are really good. The music is really good in that. And I could see why it rated really high on Rotten Tomatoes, and I could see its impact on the positive impact it had on the video game itself. And this is like the second time this happened already, because it happened with The Witcher when the Witcher series came out. I think sales of the Witcher 3 game went up like that same week or whatever. Yeah. And it's been staying solid. So
dude, imagine had they not dropped the ball in such a nasty way, man.
Yeah.
We'd be still talking about Cyberpunk. They wouldn't be like, we'll give you one more expansion. Like, no, 3 more expansions. We're doing everything. The sequel's coming out in a couple years. Keep logging in. Like,
boo.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy that like at some point they're like, let's do this Netflix show and we'll see what happens. And it's like, we're getting people on board, but it's cool. It's cool because finally people can maybe away from all the drama can play this game that to me it's one of my favorite type of, I say it all the time, but it's a Western RPG, right? It's kind of a Fallout type of game for me, or an Outer Worlds, I guess, maybe a little closer to that. But Luis, what do you think, man, about this Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I'm one of those people that is definitely now intrigued to go actually pick up the game and play it. It was one of those I kind of put in the backlog until it got fixed, and I know it's been sort of in a pretty stable state for a while now, but I kind of just forgot about it, and this was kind of like it just kind of tapping me in the back and going, "Hey, remember there's this game you still haven't played." So
they just released update 1.6, and it's a lot more stable for certain systems. That's what I hear anyway. Yeah.
I got a copy of it on PS4/PS5. I don't know, one of them, at least. If you need a borrow it, by the way.
No, I'll get on
You're
PC.
going PC, huh? See,
PC. Mods, man. Get the mods.
PC. Next thing, we need to get away from this conversation. The next thing on here is the director for Sonic Frontiers says it's an open zone, not an open world. He said director Morio Kishimoto told IGN all about it. Kishimoto refers to open zone as Sonic Frontiers' secret weapon. Level-based platformers often have a world map. Our open zone is a world map, only we've made it entirely playable. A playable world map that includes stage-like elements is something that hasn't really been done before, so we had to come up with a new name. What is often defined as a world in other level-based platformers is called a zone in Sonic games. So we took that and combined it with open, which refers to a freely explorable field. So that's what open zone stands for. There was a time, Dale, I don't know if you were listening to these shows, these Salient Points, where we've been talking about Sonic Frontiers for a while. I don't think we're that hyped about it.
Those.
It's supposed to be coming out in like 3 weeks, and people are like, this looks terrible. And I don't know if it was Morio Kishimoto or someone else, but one of the producers was like, you guys don't understand. And it's like, they tried to explain it just now. And I still like, what the fuck is happening? What is happening? Sonic Frontiers, like Dalen said, is dealing with, what did he say, Lee? Do you remember? He said Sonic is dealing with
situation.
It's a Sonic situation.
Oh my god. Has it come to that?
So, the movies are doing great, man. They're pretty good, right, for what they are, and the games just haven't figured their shit out. Luis, help me out here, man. What's going on here, dude?
I mean, well, look, I will say those zones look empty as hell, man. Those zones look really empty. And that's even worse if it's not a world, an open world. If a tiny zone looks that empty, then I don't know. Maybe I just don't get it. I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's definitely one of the things they said, Dale. We just don't get it. It's like, well, you want us to not pay $60, $70.
I haven't heard like a lot of positivity, so yeah, I don't know. Questionable.
They're out of control, man. They need to take their cues from like the Sonic 1 movie. Remember when they're like, this Sonic looks horrible, and they actually listen. They need to look at that and be like, all right, let's
delay it and then
go
back to the drawing board and work some things out.
There's a lot of shit going on, dude. Sonic Frontiers is gonna fail. I don't wish it ill, man. I don't wish it ill, but it's gonna fall flat on its face. It will not sell. It will be another Ball in Wonderland and wondering what the fuck happened.
Man.
Next thing we have on here. Resident Evil 4, the remake, apparently is coming to PlayStation 4 but not Xbox One. I didn't get a quote for this, but that's just kind of an interesting side note. I'm sure we'll bring it up at some point in the future. So it's kind of the remake, not for Xbox One. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer will feature a third-person mode. I didn't see none of the footage. Maybe you guys did. Dale, did you kind of look into it a little bit? What did you think of looking at?
Oh, it was like 3 to 4 seconds of it for Modern Warfare, yeah, and it looks like it reminded me of SOCOM, which is weird though, because like when you aim down sights in the footage that I saw, it goes into first person mode, so you see the iron sights on the gun and everything like that. It doesn't stay in third person, only when, I guess, if you blind fire or something.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. But there's supposed to be like a playlist, I think, like a third person.
Yeah, because there is a guy. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did see a guy's. There's a guy. He made a clip of him playing in third person mode, and it's like cheating because your periphery is a lot larger than it would be in like first person. You can see a lot more, and yeah, I don't think it would be fair. It makes sense that they make a specific lobby for that, but I think it's a good I say it like it's a good play for Activision Blizzard to do that for the Call of Duty franchise, because it just helps like Fortnite players come over to their franchise. It's
Okay.
an
Yeah,
easy
yeah,
transition over to them. So
yeah.
if they're tired of Fortnite, come over here to
We
the
got
more
a third
mature title that we
person.
have. We
We
got
got third
a third
person mode
person.
over here.
Yeah,
Just come
if
mess
Fortnite's
with us.
down, they got something to go to.
There
Yeah.
you go. Modern Warfare 2, I'm leaning towards it. I know I've mentioned it before. Like, I think I might pre-order the digital, man. I go physical. I try to do that. I know maybe phrasing there. I don't care. I try to buy physical as much as I can, Dale, but I might go the digital route pre-order just to get into that campaign a week early, man. I'm feeling the little itch. I might do it, man. They know how to get me. I hate them so much. But
I know.
might have to
Me
do
too.
It. Do you think you'll pre-order, Dale, like to get? The
I'm
campaign
debating
early?
on what version I wanted, because like I wanted to get into the beta, but in order to do that, you had to play on PlayStation, and I was like, what? Then, like I can play on PC. Like that's the best way to play.
They're wacky.
But,
Luis,
yeah.
what do you think, man, about this kind of? Did you kind of look at some of the footage of it, I suppose, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw a tiny bit of it. It's definitely not something I expected. I don't think the third person mode was that huge. I actually had a hard time finding games in I think it was either Modern Warfare or Modern Warfare 2, like the original one. They had basically what this is. It's a playlist of third person, and they had capture the flag, TDM, whatever. But at a certain point, I had trouble finding matches because not a lot of people were playing on that playlist. So it's an interesting move. Maybe it is. They are seeing it like what Deo is saying. I didn't think of it that way, but there could be some legitimacy to that. That maybe they're trying to get more of a larger player base coming in to play a different type of Call of Duty.
So it's not new for this then. They have had third person mode or parts of it. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Well, we'll see. This thing's coming up fast, man, and everyone's trying to avoid that blast radius, of course, of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Next thing we have on here is G4 TV is hit with major layoffs. They said about 15 or 20 people were laid off. This comes after about less than a year after coming back. That's the headline on Kotaku. And another 10-cent site is Fanbyte. Also got hit with a bunch of layoffs as well. Which is kind of interesting, man. I don't know, like, I know G4 TV was a big thing, but it was, like, a big thing prior to, like, YouTube, right? I kind of remember, like, it was still kind of on cable. It was before everyone was, like, starting their Patreons, or, like, way before then, right? But it was, like, everybody was, like, what's just video content online, and I could just click on it. I don't have to wait. Like, I don't have to wait through, like, 20 hours of Cops to watch the half-hour X-Play once a day or whatever it was. So it's kind of interesting that, from what I understand, they hired, like, 200 people, man. You know the overhead on 200 people? Like, let's say they're making $50K. That's $10 million, dude, on 200 people. Like, how do you justify it? I and the way the media is and the way kind of people get paid. So it's interesting. It's interesting that they were like, we're going to get away with it. And now it's kind of like, I don't wish them ill or anything like that. I wish them all the best whoever got laid off, but it's very like, I don't know. You guys thought it was going to work, huh? Luis, what do you think about this, man?
Yeah, I think they got a little too, they dove into it way too fast. I think it was one of those things that was a big sort of, had a huge cult following back in the day, and I think people were just nostalgic of the idea of G4 coming back. But then once it actually was there, maybe someone tuned in to watch an episode or two of something, and then they're like, I'm gonna go watch this YouTube video. So yeah, I don't think it worked out as maybe their market research or whatever research they did to see how excited people would be and actually tune in was off a bit. So I don't know. I wish them success, and hopefully this downsizing helps them a bit. But it's looking like the writing might be on the wall.
It seems like something like someone had a whole bunch of money, and they're like, let's do it, man. I mean, we got this thing lying around. Let's kind of give it a shot here. But it's weird because it was a big thing, right? In the early 2000s or whatever. Like, remember, go back in time travel. We got 56K modems, and you're trying to watch Super Mario Sunshine footage, and it takes 10 minutes to load up 10 seconds, and you would click play to watch 2 seconds at a time, and it kept loading. So G4 TV was like a godsend, right? It was like, yes, I just gotta, at 4:30 p.m. or whatever time the show came on, right? It's like, I'm gonna watch X-Play, and they're gonna show me all this cool shit. But it's tough. I think it's gonna be tough. You would think it's kind of like GameStop. When GameStop wasn't around, you're like, damn, I wish I had a game store. And now they're kind of everywhere, and upsell you on all kinds of crap, and it's like I don't even go. The last time I went to a GameStop, I think was like, I don't know, maybe like last year or something. You know, I just don't go there. I don't go to there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe if they can make it a leaner operation, right? They can kind of make sense of it. The thing that's not a lean production, I'm sure, but there's gonna be a season 2 of Paramount's Halo. We already knew that they renewed it, but it has started officially. Luis, what do you think, man? Does we'll see the show. We'll see season 2 coming out soon enough.
I guess. I mean, season 1 came out, and basically the what I heard about it, the general consensus was everyone signed up for that free week of Paramount Plus or whatever, and then immediately canceled it after they watched the Halo series. So if there's nothing on there for you to want to keep watching, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe someone will have to bite the bullet and get the account, give everyone the login or something to watch season 2. I'm not sure, man.
I was one of those, man. I got like the free week, or Xbox did something like it was like half a week, or it was a couple weeks or something. I was like, I'll hang on to it, because if you cancel, some of these apps or whatever do it where like if you're trying to cancel, it's like whoa, we'll give you half off, and they did that. Paramount did that to me. I'm like, all right, half off, whatever. I'm trying to finish this Halo TV show, and then I stuck around for the offer. That was like a semi-documentary on how they made The Godfather, and then I went into a whole thing of like, let me watch all the Godfathers. But anyways, that Paramount app is horrible, man. It's a horrible experience. I'm sorry, Paramount. Fix your damn app. Deo, I don't know if we've had you talking about. Have you seen the series? Did you watch the Halo season 1? Okay.
I'm trying to avoid it, actually, because like I'm kind of negative on Halo right now, even though and I don't want to destroy the whole thing for me. I also blocked a lot of, like, I was like on media blackout for any spoilers for that show too. So. Okay,
I mean, and it's set in its own like sort of timeline too, and it's okay, man. I'm not gonna sell it to you, Dale. I will not do that to you. But it's decent. I don't know if they ever give you like a month free or whatever. Just
Is it like as good as like the movies? Have you seen the other live action movies? They came out with like a couple of them actually.
But like Halo, like they were trying to follow. What's the Neil Blomkamp, or is that the guy that kind of did the robot?
So
District.
Yeah. He was tied to one of the projects. Same thing with Peter Jackson, but then like they both fell through, and so some other production studio came through and other directors came by.
Those are much. I think they're much closer to kind of the excitement that you will want, but again, they're like 2-minute clips, right? Like they're 2-minute or however long they were. They're just like short clips. But this one's like they're making a show of it. I was surprised. I'll tell you that. I was surprised with like, okay, it's decent. Like I said, I'm not gonna try to say on Paramount. First of all, the app is trash. Secondly, Halo is just it's a decent show, right? Like if you have a free month or something, right?
I'll just wait until they fix that app. Maybe
it's terrible, man. It's horrible, dude. The next thing we have on here is Deathloop drops today on Game Pass, along with new content and an extended ending. I know you were a big fan, Luis. Are you gonna kind of mess with it on Game Pass with that new content, new ending or whatever?
No, not on Game Pass. I don't think so. But it was just an opportunity for anyone that hasn't played it. Especially if it's on Game Pass and you have Game Pass. Please check it out. Not if you're Carlos, because he hates anything we have to revisit a level for some reason.
I do. I'm sorry. Don't do that to me.
Arch enemy.
If that seems like your type of game, definitely check it out. If you liked anything, and it's not too arcane-y. I don't know why you keep saying that. It's not.
It's an arcane game. It's an arcane arcane game.
It's a good game. Check it out.
If it's your style, like, I'll agree with that, Liz. If it's that kind of game, it's a little Hitman-y, right, in a way. I mean, it's not the exact same type of gameplay because it's like more first person, right? It's a first person game. But you do replay stuff, and they're like, go back at sunset. Go during breakfast time. Like, no, I will not do that. I don't want to go during different times of my meals. I don't want to do that. But it's on Game Pass, so I think that's a great thing, right? If you have Game Pass, make sure to check it out on there. Do you know if they're adding this is just Xbox exclusive stuff, right? At least even it's not for PlayStation, right? It's not like it's getting updated for PlayStation or
as far as I know, it's Game Pass exclusive stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I will load up a game or something. But yeah.
Make sure every meal of the day. Make sure you check in every meal of the day so you can.
I eat all my meals too.
Oh, you don't gotta tell me about my meals. I understand. The next
Don't
thing,
mess around.
the next thing we have on here, last story, and then we'll do a little what you've been playing. Babylon's Fall. The service is ending February 27, 2023, and I put for the one player that is still hanging around. It's ending February. I wonder. It's interesting, right? You would think they would just like shut it down, like we're done with this or whatever. But they're like, contractual obligations and blah blah. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of wackiness, right? To like, okay, we gotta give people time to February 27. Luis, what do you think, man? That one guy's gonna be sad, right? The one guy that's still playing.
He's
The
gonna be
one guy.
They gave him a big. They gave him a. No, it literally is one guy. They're making DLC.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, it's one man.
Wow.
One man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kotaku featured him, dude.
Surprised it
Kotaku
lasted
featured
this
the
long.
Really?
one man. Kotaku
Damn.
featured the one man.
Devoted this kid. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, at least they gave him this. This is a pretty big heads up. I'm surprised they're giving him this much more time on the. They have this much more content for this man to keep playing. I don't know what he's gonna play after this, but I wish him nothing but the best, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I think they might have even canceled the DLC, man. I should have gotten a quote for it. I didn't get a quote for it, but I think they might even be like canceling. Like they're like, we're not working on anything. This is just one guy. They actually even took it off the stores, right? You can't even buy it if you want to buy it. They delisted. They're like, all right, whatever, man. We don't need people clicking around. All right, one fan. I hope you're happy. You got
That's a
to
shame.
February 27.
That's a shame.
We'll go into what you've been playing real quick. I think we've both been playing this one thing, release, right? We've been playing The Last of Us Part 1. I do want to, on wax, half-heartedly apologize. The Last of Us Part 1 is not a cash grab. It's fucking incredible. It looks amazing, especially the water graphics. Look at the water graphics. They're just beautiful. I can stare at them all day, every day. It's just so great, man. And this, we've brought up on the podcast before how Last of Us Part 2 is kind of like, I feel like it could have been, it could have been a bit more straightforward type of story. It was still a great game, one of the best games ever made. But The Last of Us Part 1, dude, I think it's a sort of a simpler story, but it's more straightforward. It's the ending, I don't want to spoil it, but the ending of Part 1 was just incredible. It just kind of like, oh, damn, that's good. I don't know how, I don't want to spoil it, but I was like, this is incredible.
I've played it before, so don't worry.
No, but it's been years, but it's just kind of the way it ends. And maybe it's just me, but I love those sudden endings because sometimes people like the drawn out, like, we're gonna give you a full explanation, and this is why it's sad, and it's like, no, it's just with a couple words, boom, Last of Us. It's Part 1.
No, we don't need a Lord of the Rings situation going on
It's
here.
pretty damn great. I've been having fun with it, man. I think I did GameFly it because like $70. I'm trying to convince my child, so it's good my child has like grades money because I'm like, you want to go halves on it? You want to go have some Last of Us Part 1? And I let her play it earlier, and maybe she's convinced. We'll see if she wants to go half on it, because $70 is just, it's worth it. Especially if you've never played it, it's definitely worth the $70. But it's just, to me, I was like, I'll GameFly. I'll try to get all the trophies. They switched some things around, from what I understand, compared to the remake and the original one. But I've been having fun with that. I'm sorry, Luis, but right from the beginning, I was like, I'm just grabbing all the trophies. I'm not playing it and then going back. I'm just right from the beginning. I already played this game. Still got to appreciate the amazing graphics, and just the gameplay is just smooth. Whatever they did to it, I'm not a game developer. I don't know what they did to it, but it's incredible. I like how when they talk, you can kind of hear it very muffled through the controller, but it rumbles. It rumbles muffled, so it kind of adds
cool
to the coolness of it. Left Behind is still a nice little kind of coded to the original game, which is pretty cool. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I wouldn't pay $70 for it, I guess, but it's amazing. Luis, what's been kind of your experience, I guess, with Part 1, man? Why isn't it a cash grab? It feels a little bit of a cash grab.
You just said it was.
I said half-heartedly. Half-heartedly.
I don't need to. I've already talked about that enough, dude. I'm not gonna revisit that topic, but I will say I'm having fun with it.
Yeah.
I am liking the game. I do like the updates that they've made to the character models. Obviously, they kind of subtly made, as they did with the Part 2, subtly made them look like they're actual actors, but still resemble their original sort of character models. And yeah, seeing those nuances and details and like what they're saying, their facial animations and things like that, is real cool. So yeah, I'm having fun with it, and since I did platinum the PS3 and 4 versions, it's interesting kind of playing this game and still remembering like where all the Firefly pendants are, where all the comic books are, where like so I
Wow.
don't have to like look up any guide or anything. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, there was a thing right here. I kind
Yeah.
of go pick it up. So hopefully, first playthrough get a platinum. Maybe only have to revisit a level or two or something,
There's
and then
one.
or zone.
There's one because I don't think you're too fine. That's kind of I look to me. That's what I like about like trophies because sometimes I'll go through like my friends' trophies and I'm like, where are they at? Like I'm like, Luis, where are you at? And I'm like, okay, he's done these things, you know. And it's cool that it has like the progress percentage, right? It's like, okay, he's about this far in the game. He's working on that. So I don't necessarily care about the ultimate number, right? Like, oh, I'm beating you on trophies. Like, no, it's just an interesting story of how people are playing the game, right? But yeah, the one thing I will say, focus on like the building, crafting the weapons. That's one that I think I gotta go back and grind a little bit. Probably not too much, but do you know what I'm saying? Like you build up, you upgrade your weapons. Try to upgrade every weapon. I guess it has there.
Yeah, typically for weapons and your actual supplement upgrades, you will have to play the again a little bit. Like you won't have to beat the game, but you will have to replay a little bit.
But that for these trophies they didn't do it that way. I think for the original they did, but they switched that around. You don't have to because I know for Last of Us Part 2 I had to play it 1 time and a half because you will not have enough like equipment things upgrades. So you definitely for 2 you have to do it. For this one they switched it around enough to where it's a little more accessible.
Yeah,
I feel.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good on that front.
What else have you been playing? Anything else, Luis? Or it's just been kind of Last of Us Part 1?
I haven't been playing really at all. So the Last of Us, I'm barely at the part where they go into the city escaping from the hunters. So I'm kind of at that area. And then started barely, just slightly. My sister was hanging out and she kind of saw I set up the PS5 in the living room and saw the big stack of PS5 games. She wanted to start Valhalla, so we popped it in and we started playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So got into that game and yeah, I think I was gonna put that one towards the back of my backlog, but now that I'm kind of seeing it and playing with it, I think I might actually, reprioritize it a little bit, see if I could get to it a little quicker. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, for Part 2, I know I texted you about this earlier, but we could use a PS5 version of that, right? Or I mean, it was nice. It was good. It was PS4, right? It was PS4.
It was.
It's amazing,
same
for The Last of Us.
For The Last of Us Part 2.
For the most part, it's
Part 2. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could use a Part 2. Part 2.
No, that would be a cash grab. That was definitely
$70.
Yeah, because with this one, and I did go back and look at some like videos from the original release of The Last of Us Part 1, and it's kind of like, okay, all right,
I think they did what they will do with that, which they did do a PS5 upgrade for the PS4 version.
Yeah.
But that's about it. So
and
I don't think they'll do much more than that.
And I think even for that one, for the PlayStation 4 version, part of their mission or whatever was like, let's kind of get a handle of this PlayStation 4, right? I feel like this Part 1, first of all, getting their kind of ducks in order. Like, it's like, we're making Part 1 because somebody else was supposed to be doing Part 1. But Naughty Dog was like, no, it's our game. We're doing it. And I think partly because the next thing is going to be... what's the multiplayer version of it? There's gonna be a
Faction.
I think Factions is next, right? And Factions, it's gonna be $60-$70 or whatever, right? So I think
that
part
one
of
seems ambitious.
Yeah, so I think for sure we're gonna see that next, and I think this is one where like they dip their toe into it, right? They're like, okay, we understand the PS5, right? Deo, did you play anything this past week?
Just old stuff.
Okay, just old stuff. All right.
Like all my stuff is still like in storage. Like the only thing I took out of my storage is like my PC, and so like I was like that's why I was able to play like Cyberpunk again, and then I uninstalled Halo Infinite, but I've been playing Halo the Master Chief Collection because they had some update on there. And like that, I don't know what it is, but like that's my comfort game. That's like your equivalent of what's that? It's Rocket League.
Oh, yeah,
so
Rocket League, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just throw on Halo 3 only. I don't even care about like Halo Reach or Halo 1 or Halo 2.
There was like a little smoke you were trying to stir up on Twitter, man. Like, what do you like more, Halo Reach or Halo 3, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a good question. Halo 3 was pretty damn good, but Halo 3 was definitely like it was like at the right time. It came out at the right place, right time. It was like a zeitgeist around like we are playing Halo 3 and we're in the video mode and we're in the Forge mode and we're all all doing that.
The entire like gaming community, was just like rotated around that title specifically, and Halo Reach was kind of like on the tail end of that when Bungie was leaving and everything. So it like I like that game. It's a great game. The mechanics of it are definitely worth the change up. But like there's some of them, like some of the moves in Halo Reach that break the actual gameplay of Halo. So I appreciate the changes and I like the experimentation and everything. But I'm only speaking, of course, about multiplayer. Like both single player campaigns are phenomenal. I think I like Reach's single player campaign.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think the campaign, especially the ending, right? The live ending. It's anytime you end a game like that, it's
iconic. It's kind of like a lot of people remember that. So like and I do appreciate all of that, and I still love Halo Reach, but like to me, it's just like Halo 3. That's just like the warm tea on like a cold day,
always,
like
and there's always matches, right? On the Master
always, there's so many all the time.
Dip into it, man, because I definitely. Those were like you were saying, those were some good times. Mainly for me, I think it was Halo 3 was good, but I think Halo 2 was just like the game. It was like everyone come over. We're gonna be on this. We were still using the boob tubes or whatever, the old TVs, right? The little tiny 15, 20 inches. Like we're gonna huddle around, split screen online. Split screen online is what we're doing on this Xbox that can barely hang on. So that's what you've been playing. We have a few comments. We did mention the comments. We'll kind of throw them out here at the end. We did have one person, Doc Drowsy, on YouTube. He said, "Great show, guys. I'm also kind of mad." Oh, goes to your point, Dale. I'm also kind of mad about Halo Infinite's local co-op being axed. Was kind of meh. So having a friend suffer through it with me sounded ideal. Okay, it's a little different point, right? He put a little sad face. Sorry about that, Doc Drowsy. Yeah, it's a local co-op being axed is interesting, especially after they had the whole Halo 5 ordeal where there was like, they don't need it, and then they made a point to say,
Bonnie Ross said it,
we're gonna give you, and going forward, not only like for Infinite, going forward, we will continue to give this. And they said, Bonnie Ross left, other people are leaving, and I don't know if that's related, but Dale, what do you think real quick about this?
It's a bummer, because that's how I got even, like, what do you call it? Like exposed to Halo is through couch co-op. Like I wasn't gonna buy an Xbox. I was only gonna buy a PlayStation 2 and a Dreamcast. That was like my play the whole time. And then my friend bought an Xbox. Halo was the only game he played, and bought. And then so we played that at his house for so many days, dude. I swear to God.
It's funny. I have like a similar like Halo 1 story. I remember, now that you bring it up, I remember like I didn't have an Xbox. I had a PlayStation. It wasn't like I wasn't gonna get an Xbox. I just didn't have one, right? But I remember going over to his house extra early, waking up early, man. Getting kids to wake up early is something special. So I would walk over to his house on my way to school, and we would play Halo for a couple levels co-op, and then we'd go on our merry way to go to school. Luis, what do you think, man?
I actually forgot why I said yes on this thing. I completely forgot.
Got you. I got you. Yeah, and I think we talked about it last week too. Is probably what the Doc Drowsy is referring to. Jet, here we go with Jet. We'll end it on with this. He said, "I enjoyed Avengers. Just wish story mode was co-op." And Luis, do you remember why you said yes to this comment here?
Yeah. No, that's kind of the general consensus I heard from a lot of people, is that it had like some shining moments, but then also it was like it fell short in a handful of ways. So this was Crystal Dynamics, right? This was them that made this game?
And it was I know I've said it before, but it's very much like Uncharted light. It doesn't reach not even like 62% of Naughty Dog's expertise and level, Luis, but very Uncharted light. They're aiming high. They don't reach it, but they're aiming high, and it's decent. It reminded me a little bit of Uncharted. But yeah, co-op would have been cool, and I think it's Avengers, right? You would think there would be like co-op play.
Yeah.
And even with Amy Hennig's game, she was like, "There's no co-op." It's like, why? Like, it seems like you would want co-op in these type of games. Is that your thoughts on that, Luis?
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go. Thank you guys for commenting and everything. And well, I'm also gonna give a quick giveaway shout out to the people that are following us. We got comms now. We got Beyond From Here, Dreamer Lullaby, Dash Revolver, Doug Trio Violins, Cat Purry, Dill Pickle One, Tomato Pika, Rudy Great One, who won. I hope he got his. He's enjoying his code right now. Yam77, Viz. Viz had like a whole weird name, so it's just Viz. Hersil X Shan, Ganda Hersil, January Queen 01, Naomi Shan 6, True Violet, With Odds and Ends, NPNG, Dr. Tiger, Eric Locho, Pages to Turn Over, Demonte Shut Up, Gabe, In-House Gaming, and Dorian the Critic. So maybe next time we do a little giveaway, we'll kind of shout them up, shout them out.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Not shut them up, shout them out. But thank you guys for joining us again. I'm Carlos Macias, the Master of Oranges, until Dalen changes my name, so he has to jump back on and give me another subtitle because it's out of control over here. I'm Carlos Macias. Thank you for joining us. Adeo Blas also on the mic here. Thank you for joining
Thank you, everyone, for participating in the giveaway. And yes, please like, subscribe us, and follow us for more Yakuza news.
For more Yakuza, for the Yakuza. It's not Yakuza anymore, right? It's,
I'm sorry. Like a Dragon RGG Studio news.
There you go. See, I had to correct you real quick. And Luis Mendez on the wheels still. Thank you for joining us as well, sir. I appreciate your MP3 wizardry. The podcast version of it hadn't gone down it hadn't gone up in a couple days. But thank you very much for all your help there.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week. Salient Points 82. Latest.